crayon tutorial of mine. Today we're going to do Moonlight Owl. Cute little owl sitting right there on the branch looking at the beautiful moon. Now for this, all you're going to need are your crayons, a pencil, an eraser to do a little bit of drawing before we actually color. You need some sort of a round object that will be a big size for the moon. You determine what you need for the size of paper you have. I'm going to say keep a Sharpie nearby or a black felt marker in case you do want it, because sometimes your black crayon like mine aren't dark enough, and we did a little bit of outlining on this to make some things pop. And I think that's all. Easy breezy beautiful. It's quick and fast and just so pretty. All right, so we can see here I have my pencil and I have my eraser. I have my round circular object for making the moon. I have my black crayon, my purple, my blue, my orange, and my yellow. If you have some oranges that have reds or yellows in them, give them a try. They might make a really interesting moon. Okay, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is put our round object right about in the center and then just move it up a little bit. And then trace around it very lightly, not too heavily with your pencil. Now we're going to draw our tree. If you want to start with pencil, you're welcome to do that. But we're open for mistakes and it's not going to be so bad anyway because it's going to be a dark picture. So I'm just going to kind of make my tree come from this side. One branch is going to just wind up. You know, the branches are not straight, right? Just going to make them kind of twist around. I'm putting one over the top of the moon. Remember, we're not going to fill this space here because our owl is going to go right about in the center. One branch below the moon. Remember, our branches are thicker as they're closer to the trunk, and they get thinner as they wind out to the end of the tree. Now we're going to make the branch that the owl is sitting on. So this one is going to come here, just kind of above the bottom of our circle, and then that branch will just go up that way. And then make your main branches a little bit thicker, but thinner as they get towards the end. And you don't have to color it too dark yet. We will be making them darker later. Okay, that looks good. Let's put our little owl on, and let's do that with a pencil just in case we make a mistake. Okay, so the body of the owl is going to be kind of oval. I'm not going to close it, it's kind of ending on the branch. And then I'm just going to show a little bit of owl tail, just like the bottom of a triangle here. Then I'm going to put his head on top and give little tufts, maybe make a U or a smile. And that's what his tufts will look like. You know, they're not ears, right? An owl's ears cannot be seen. These are the little tufts. I think his head might be a little bit small, so I'm just going to make it a little wider. Put the tufts a little higher. Get your black crayon and let's outline it first. And then you can color it in. Now I'd like you to get your orange crayon and we're going to go over our pencil line of the moon. So just trace that over. And you can go a little darker. Second time around, press a little heavier. That looks good. Now I'm going to color some orange right along that line on the inside of the moon. And I'm pressing a bit hard. You can color over the black branches, but sometimes it will smudge a little. So if you can avoid coloring right over it, do so. But if it smudges, that's okay, because there are also dark spots on the moon. Okay. Grab your yellow. We're going to color inside that space. Around the owl. Don't go over the owl because it will really smudge it. See, I have some black marks here from my tree where my yellow went over the branch, but that's okay. Now I want you to color over the orange too. It's going to blend it a little. Press really hard as you can on the orange. I hope I don't break my crayon. Once you've done that, pick up your orange again, and we're going to go over top of the yellow lightly. Make sure there are no little white lines close to your branches. Okay, when you have the orange colored lightly over that yellow, get your yellow again, and now press hard on the orange. This is a technique of blending the colors. There are lots of different ways to blend, but this will make it easier. We could rub it with a paper towel like we did in other sessions, but this is easy and we want it dark anyway. So there, we're just kind of blending the orange and the yellow. Now I'm going to put maybe a dark spot in my moon of orange. I'm coloring kind of lightly, but I'm doing it over and over again on the one spot. I don't want any lines, so I'm coloring in circles. That's a bit of a darker spot there. Maybe one over here too. All right. That looks good for now. We can add more onto that later if we feel the need to. Now we're going to color our sky in the background, and we're going to start with a blue. Now you might say, well, hey, the sky at night is just black. But if we made everything black, we wouldn't really see anything except the moon and the owl on top of it, in front of it. So we're going to do like a midnight blue color. We're going to use blue and purple and black. So let's start at the top, and we're going to color in this direction. Try not to go in all kinds of different directions because then it gets a bit messy. So I'm going to start at the top, and if you find it easier to color like this, turn your paper, right? Just turn it, and then you can color up and down. Now we're going to go around the moon too, and this time it's okay to kind of go, just follow the circle. And this time it's okay to go over the branches. And I'm not pressing very hard, and I even have white spots here, and that will be good because in some places the purple will come through there. Now my friends, before we do the purple, there's one thing I didn't do in this picture that I'd like to do in this one. I would like to put a little globe around the moon. Can we do that? Get your orange and just go lightly coloring outwards. See, I'm still going in that same direction this way that we did. I'm just putting a little glow around the perimeter of the moon. Okay, now I want to see if I can put some yellow on top of that orange. Okay, so we have a bit of a haze going there, all right? Carrying on, purple. I'm going to turn my page this way again because I think up and down is sometimes easier. And I'm just going to go over top of the blue that we colored, but I'm going to make it a little darker on the top. On the top of our picture, where night comes first and then it falls, it's going to be darker. Darker at the top and lighter at the bottom. Don't worry about too many white spots because we're going to go over that with black too. And yes, I am kind of going close to the moon. Not on the moon, but I am going over the glow bits that we just did. When I step back and look at it, I see I did a good job being dark here, but not all the way across the top and on this side. And I think I want to bring it down to about probably halfway. So I'm going to press harder with my purple. Okay, I'm going to go back over a little bit with my blue to make it darker at the top. If you have a broken black bit, which I recommend you having, because they're great for putting on their sides when you're just shading, which is what we're doing now. I'm going to turn my picture again, and we're just going to shade over top, not on the moon. We can go over the trees and their branches. We're just going to go lightly. Now I do want to fill in some of these white bits, so I am going to go in the opposite direction. I don't want any streaks though, so I'm keeping it on its side. Get your black again. And let's go over those branches. Remember, they're thin towards the end of the tree, so you might want to start with the thin ones at the end. Go over them. You also want to be careful, my friends, of putting your hand on your picture anytime. Crayons, paints. So if you feel like you're going to be smudging, get a paper towel or another piece of paper, put it on the picture, and then put your hand on it. And then you're not going to smudge your picture and you're not going to get your hand all messy. I know it's really hard to keep a pointy end when you've got a flat round crayon. I do have a crayon sharpener. I tried it yesterday and I just found it wasted so much crayon, so I'm not going to bother sharpening my crayons. You can use a Sharpie if you want. For sure. Let me try that. I'm thinking just for the ends, if we want that sharpness, color the trunk of your tree really dark, so press heavily. And we are also going to color in our owl. So I'm going to trace around it darker, pressing more heavily, and then just fill it in black. If you want that sharpness, use the Sharpie and trace around your owl. If you want to add a little more darkness into your moon, give a little glow around your owl if you want. And there you have it. That is our Moonlight Owl. Thank you for watching. Thank you for trying it. I have more tutorials on Yayla Productions on YouTube. Check them out. Have some fun. I'll be back in a week or so with a Halloween picture for you. All right. Bye, everyone.